Thank you for watching my masterclass. Now, today we're going to be talking about the US economy and what it portends for the world. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because today the chairman of the US Federal Reserve Bank, Jerome Powell, met with Congress. He met with the Senate Banking Committee and he made some revelations which will affect the world economy. A lot of people know that what happens in the US has, would I say, a multiplier effect all over the world. And if you know my practice, like when these things happen, for example, I think 6 weeks ago, when the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Gary Gensler, met with Congress, I also gave you guys a briefing and I told you what was going to happen. And we saw that what I said was going to happen actually did happen. So although it's my opinion, but I mean, there's a reasonable chance that these things might happen. Now, what the chairman said today is that he has the tools to fight inflation. US inflation is quite high right now. It's about 8.3. It's quite high, but I mean, obviously, it's not yet led to job losses to a significant number that people will be concerned. However, he said he has the tools to fight inflation and he'll keep on fighting inflation. But then he was posed a question by the Democratic senator from Massachusetts, that's Senator Elizabeth Warren, and she told me, look, it's all right for you to say that, but we're seeing what's happening with inflation. It looks like a recession might be coming, and he was forthright. He was forthcoming enough and said, look, there is a possibility of a recession. Now, so what does that tell us? You see, immediately he said that we saw an effect in the stock market. Now, the stock market this year has been quite volatile because of obviously we know that the February 24 invasion of Ukraine by Russia has also affected it. And there are a number of things. I don't want to put the blame on anybody, but we've seen overall. Now, I've told you guys about the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Well, we've seen that the Dow Jones Industrial Average has fallen by about 19% this year alone, and then we've seen that the Nasdaq has fallen by about I think the Nasdaq has fallen by about 34% this year alone. And the S&P 500 has fallen by about 24% this year alone. So for the Nasdaq, it's quite understandable because it has the Nasdaq is very tech heavy. About 35% of the shares on the Nasdaq are tech stocks. And tech stocks don't do very well with inflation. So a lot of people have been asking me what's been happening with cryptocurrency. Now, you have to understand that since I think it started in November last year, 2021, there's been a convergence between tech stocks and cryptocurrency. So when tech stocks go down, cryptocurrencies also go down. It didn't used to be like that before, but cryptocurrency is more or less, it's a new, when I say commodity or security. So we're seeing it that it's being linked with tech stocks. So with what the chairman has said today, we're not likely to see the market correcting itself. We're going to see further drops. For example, now, Coinbase is one of the biggest, one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world. Their stocks have just dropped. From an all-time high. From their all-time high, I think their stocks has lost about 86% of its value. So if you're looking at something like Shopify has lost about 82% of their value. Now, I'm going to give my opinion. If I were you, I would buy those two stocks. I'll buy Coinbase, I'll buy Shopify, because the only way is up. They're going to recover. But here's what I'm going to say. It's my opinion. Now, here's what I'm going to say. These are long-term investments. So you're going to be looking at holding those stocks for probably about 3 years so that they'll recover, and then they're going to explode again. And you're going to make your money back, in several multiples. So that's what I'll say. However, because of the current level of inflation and because of the comments by Jerome Powell, which, it's very obvious that although he was trying to build confidence in the economy, it's very clear that he's not going to be able to tame this inflation anytime soon. So what you need to do, you need to move away from shares and stocks. Except shares and stocks that have really, really tanked, that the only way is up. And I just gave you an example of two of them. I said you buy Shopify or you buy Coinbase. Coinbase has lost 86% of its value, Shopify 82% of their value, and they're going to go up. But I would say put your money in a gold ETF. Put your money in the gold ETF. Gold ETFs, for some reason, have not been so hit. In fact, they've not been hit at all by the inflation or by the volatility in the market. They've been going up. So maybe it might be the fact that even with a war or without a war, there's always a high demand for gold. If you recall, if you watch my video, February 24, on the day of the invasion, I told you guys to buy oil and gas stocks. If you had done that, I mean, you'd have made a lot of money because at that time the prices were reasonable, but they really shot up. But we can't, hindsight is 2020. We can't go back to the past. But right now, I'm telling you, invest in the gold ETF. Take your money away from stocks, except stocks that are really, they've hit rock bottom, that the only way is up. And I give you an example: Coinbase, Shopify. Put it into, and these are my opinions, put it into the gold ETF. Another way that you can preserve your wealth, your family wealth, is by doing day trading of cryptocurrencies, especially Ethereum, Bitcoin, and if you want to be risky, you can go maybe Shiba Inu. Although yes, I know what's happened. I know what's happened with Ryoshi and how he's left. But there's still, there's still a lot of potential for that coin, and also with Dogecoin. But I limit myself to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you can do day trading with that. So because when you're pulling your money out of stocks, you're going to have a lot of money. You don't want to put your money in the bank because inflation is just going to wipe away the value. So you need to do something with your money. And the alternative that you can do, because you got to mix up your portfolio. You don't want to put everything in gold ETF. Because while the gold ETF is looking very good, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. That's a very, very big investment mistake, because nobody can tell what's going to happen tomorrow. So maybe you want to play around like I do with cryptocurrency, but do it on a daily basis. So be a day trader. So you have stop orders, and if you don't know what stop orders are, maybe you want to watch my previous videos. I've simplified it. It's so easy, and it's probably the easiest way to make money right now. On some days I make $25,000 on stop orders. It's not going to happen every day. But what I can tell you is that if you watch my video and if you follow the techniques I teach about, you can make money every day, especially if you are into high frequency trading. That's trading of, like if you have like maybe 100,000. In my case, I buy 10 units of Bitcoin at a time, and then I sell them off, and then I make my profit. However, the bottom line is this: we're not going to see inflation tame very, very soon. The chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank has said that there's going to be there's a likelihood of a recession. If there's going to be a recession, it's going to affect the rest of the world, and that means that we're going to see at least maybe between 2 to 3 more rate hikes in the US, which means that if you want to take a loan, now is the best time to take a loan, because there's going to be a rate hike. Because obviously the chairman said that I've got all the tools to fight inflation, and we know that their biggest tool, their most used tool in fighting inflation is rate hikes. Now, this is when I'm working. If you watch my video and you have questions arising from what I've said, because it's quite a mouthful I've said, what you can do is that you can put your questions in the comment section of this video, and my staff are going to curate it to me. But you got to remember, I do not have a WhatsApp forum, a Gmail email account, or a Telegram channel. Scammers have seen that my videos tend to go viral, and so they've created a number of fake YouTube profiles to scam people. They tell them helpline, guideline, one-on-one info, and then they contact them, and then they scam you. I do not have any of those. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.
But Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is